And Clark Kellogg, happy to have you along for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. In the last meeting for these two teams, the Spurs came away with the win against the Cavaliers.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team. Guys, they never allowed any momentum to build up against them. It seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. They had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the floor for San Antonio, Diaw and Duncan at the 4 and the 5. Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. And it's Day in at the small forward. Parker drives in. That one goes. Count it. Here's Irving. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Kings in Sacramento.
Did a great job picking the defense apart, too. It wasn't just his scoring. Give him credit for his passing in that game, too.
And that one's good.
Kyrie Irving 3 seasons ago was the only rookie in NBA history to shoot as well as he did from the three-pointers, the field, and the free throw line. There's no question about it. He is an elite shooter.
And here is Parker, following the three-pointer by Kyrie Irving. Parker against Irving. 5 on the clock, and here's Green outside. The Cavaliers pull it in. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
Yeah, they gave away a lot of points at the free throw line in that game. Maybe it was being on the road. Maybe they were just out of sync, but something had them rattled.
Steve, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but clearly the misses from the stripe had an impact.
Here's Diaw. Following the basket by Kyrie Irving. Nobody near Parker. And a miss there on the triple.
Almost surprised that he had that much room to work with.
Here's Mozgov. 14 points from him the last game against Sacramento.
And his rebounding in that game, Kevin, just tremendous. He owned the boards.
Now here's Green. 6-point game. Miller against Parker. Back to Green. Miller with the double team. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
And we'll get a chance to check out the story on Mike Miller. How the last month of basketball was for him. He's getting around 4 points a game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And really for him, it's about putting in the work to improve his game.
You know, it can be difficult at times for him, Steve, but I think he's sticking to it, and I see his role growing as he stays the course.
Now here's Love. He had 25 points last game.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Here's Green. Day kicks to Diaw. Green against Smith. The drive by Green. Good. Irving with the ball. He's got 5, and Doris Burke caught up with Coach Greg Popovich. Doris?
Well, I asked him what strategy they were going to use at the offensive end, and he told me that they did not want to have to rely on their perimeter game. Instead, he plans to exploit what he described as a mismatch on the interior, saying, quote, "We have the talent inside to make things very difficult on them. We're going to use it." Kevin?
And thank you for that, Doris. And here is Diaw, following the three-pointer by Kyrie Irving.
Tony could well be the best point guard penetrator in the game. And he's great at finding the seam and getting the ball up and off glass before the shot blocker can recover. And once the ball hits the glass and comes off, it's a no-touch zone for the defender.
And Parker with the quickness to win that race to the rim, and then his great touch, able to use English or just the spin on the ball to drop it in. Even when the defense gets there early, it seems like Parker's able to use that teardrop.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. Harris comes in for Smith, and it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving. Spurs trail by 7. And for Parker now coming into his 30s, the question, how will his game, so based on speed, Clark, and elusiveness, how will it age?
Well, you know, I think that's a fair question. His game is not as much athleticism as it is those attributes of speed and quickness and elusiveness. I think the elusiveness can hang around for a while. The speed will go. But the fact he's improved as a jump shooter, I think will continue to allow him to be pretty good at getting to the rim.
Their offense already flowing. Some stellar shooting while jumping out to this lead.
Well, high-quality shots, and they've been on target with them.
DL with it, and it's Miller picking him up. Joseph dishes to Duncan. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Great rise and dime there. He changed gears in midair to make the assist.
Cleveland leading by 5. 1:09 left to play here in the first. And it's Miller penetrating. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
So much can be said about the Spurs' dominance as a franchise. I mean, 15 straight years of winning 50 games or more during the regular season. And, you know, last year they were at least 500 or better against every other team in the league, and they have been since 1976.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Splitter's checked in for Duncan. Bonner comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Here's Mills. Right now averaging 11 points a game. Lets the 3 fly. Thompson with the rebound. And guys, think about the history of the Spurs. They didn't even come into the NBA until 1976 when they made the transition from the old ABA.
Well, you talk about a fan base that is spoiled. I mean, nearly 40 years of beating every team in the league, more than they've been beaten by those teams. So just an incredible record. And their field goal percentage continues to climb. They have really shot the ball well here today so far.
Yeah, and it's all about quality shot selection, smart shot selection. They've been very patient on offense.
Now here's Love, averaging 18 points a game. Shoots the 3, and that one's good. Love's got 6.
Defensively, this team is just giving up way too many open looks.
You're exactly right, and to battle back, they've got to shore that defense up, Steve.
Now here's Joseph, guarded by Harris. Bonner passes to Joseph to end the run, and it's off the back rim, no good. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And Steve and Clark, Cavaliers pretty much in control here, it would appear.
Yeah, they have been fantastic offensively, really coming out strong, and they've lit it up.
Yeah, they have. I mean, very much in control and shooting the ball extremely well.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. Mills out there with Corey Joseph. Then it's Green. Then it's Matt Bonner. And it's Splitter in at center. Spurs trail by 14.
Well, it was only recently that the Cavs fans were worried that they'd lose Kyrie Irving in free agency, much like they'd lost LeBron. Now, not only has LeBron returned, but the Cavs have locked up Irving to a long-term contract.
Offensive rebound. Mozgov with the block. They retain possession. Splitter kicks to Joseph. The 3 from Mills. They get it again. Bonner's shot good.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. And remember last season, a fan who ran out in the court was wearing a shirt saying, "Kyrie, don't go." The fans were definitely, Clark, getting nervous.
And what a terrific turnaround for this franchise. I mean, last season struggling with chemistry concerns. Help has now arrived in a big way, and the mood around this city and the team has taken a complete 180.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Gentlemen, we all know that Manu Ginobili has had a terrific career playing mostly as a sixth man. Ginobili said, "I don't think it was a big sacrifice. Maybe at first it was a little painful on the ego, but when I got in, all the plays were for me. I started to feel confident in that role. Now I enjoy it, and I don't even want to start." Kevin?
Doris, he puts pragmatism over ego. Thank you. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them. And some changes here for the Spurs. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Splitter. Diaw comes in for Bonner. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Patty Mills. Parker with it. He's picked up by Irving. Parker drives in. Soft touch off the glass. Parker's got 8 points.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. On the wing, Irving. Covered by Parker. Shot from the wing. Rebound, San Antonio.
Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender.
Now the feed to Diaw. Pass to Joseph. Fires for 3. Another miss by Parker.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game.
He feeds it to Green. Here's Joseph. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back.
You know, the Spurs culture, really an example for the entire league, and you have to give a lot of credit to head coach Greg Popovich. And he demands accountability and execution while at the same time balancing that with a really great sense of humor and an authentic interest in his players as people, and that goes a long way. And he's got a great leadership team around him, his owner and the general manager. They've been a terrific trio for almost 2 decades now.
And Coach Greg Popovich really gets to know his players and his coaches, Steve. The staff goes on a retreat every offseason where they hang out, watch tape, and brainstorm ideas.
Yeah, I actually attended one of those off-season retreats a few summers back, and it was fascinating watching tape with the entire staff, talking about their team. What a great experience.
Spurs trail by 16. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Diaw. He dishes it to Duncan. Good, and it's Diaw with the assist that time. Duncan's got 5 now.
He put that lead pass in perfect position for his teammate.
Smith kicks to Irving. Parker with the steal. And now Parker pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Count the bucket. Parker's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
The Cavaliers leading by 12. Irving drives in. Kicks it out to Jones. The 11-footer, that's good.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen.
The Spurs have gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. Parker with it. He's picked up by Irving. The drive by Green. Duncan can't hit.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
Boris Diaw, pretty unique player in the NBA. Came into the league as a passing point forward, but became a small forward and then really a 4. But he's a crafty passer and can score a little bit from the outside. Very difficult player to guard.
1:05 left to play here in the second quarter. And Parker, here we go. Green dishes to Duncan. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Wide open look. Buries the jump shot. Duncan's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Easy little jump shot for him right there, guys.
Cleveland leading by 14. From about 19 feet, a shot's good from Irving.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Spurs have gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Parker passes to Green. Jacks up a 3. And Parker gets it to go. The assist by Green. And that's 13 points for Parker.
You know, he's putting on an outstanding offensive display, and he may just be getting warmed up here.
Irving. And Cleveland again with the bucket.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Spurs trail by 15. There's 18 seconds left here in the second. Joseph with the ball. Now Smith defending. Parker kicks to Joseph. Clock at 6. And again, it's the Spurs from deep. Five seconds left to play in the first half. Inside, here's Mozgov. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
For Cleveland, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. And he can't get the first one. Both teams will make substitutions. And he can't hit the second. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Cavaliers.
Thank you, Kevin Cook.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
Excellent game we've seen from Kyrie Irving. 19 points, and he sprayed home 3 3-pointers as well.
Yeah, productive day for him from long range.
Cleveland leading by 12. We've got Kevin Love. Smith is out there with Kyrie Irving. Then it's Mike Miller, and it's Mozgov in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now.
And his stroke has been dead on. Inside, outside, wherever. The shot's just falling for him.
Outside, Green. Pass to Day. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, last season, the Spurs made history, becoming the first team to finish a season with every player averaging under 30 minutes a game. Pop said, "We've been resting guys since I've been here. I think it extends their careers." Kevin, the league once fined the Spurs $250,000 for resting their stars. But the rings speak for themselves.
And surprising that more teams don't adopt that approach, Doris. Thank you. Now, here is Smith. Right now averaging 11 points a game. Just 5 to shoot. 11 feet away. And again, it's Cleveland.
Now, they read the defense perfectly that time.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third.
Well, J.R. Smith, a guy who can take your breath away with his talent one moment and then exasperate you the next. Unbelievable talent, but he can be erratic offensively, especially with his shot selection.
And it's good.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
Timeout called, Cleveland. And J.R. Smith closing in on 30 years of age. He's been fined almost $1 million over the course of his NBA career.
And, you know, playing in China, he was fined over $1 million in a single season. How do you do that? One night he ordered $3,000 worth of room service on the team dime just to see if they keep coming. Come on, Kevin. I mean, what is this guy thinking about here?
Why do you call us? We could have eaten some of that food.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
And now a look at the teams that have shot the ball the best over the course of the last month. In the third spot, the Spurs.
Yeah, Kevin, it's been a long month for anybody who plays these guys. I mean, they've been shooting the lights out, and it's been game after game after game.
Now here's Parker. He's got 16. Miller grabs the miss.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
The shot's good from Love.
Well, it's been a great start for this offense here in the second half. 4 for 4.
Spurs trail by 17. Parker kicks to Diaw. Dives for it. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
In a moment here now to see the numbers for Boris Diaw. How his last 10 games have gone. He's putting up 10 points a night, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And when you take his overall contributions on the whole, he's been putting up some pretty good numbers, but I think he can do more.
And, Steve, sometimes that's just part of the game, weathering periods where your stats might not show all of what you're doing on the floor.
Here's Irving, following the basket by Tim Duncan. Irving dishes to Smith. Can't get it to go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it.
4 for 5 so far. That's their first miss of the second half.
Parker kicks today. Launches a three. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Mozgov's got 3 rebounds now in this one. The drive by Love. On the money from 12 feet away. Love's got 10 points in the game.
Well, this is what he does. He's shooting it well. He's scoring a lot of their points, getting them in front.
Parker kicks to Green. And the pass to Diaw. Mozgov with the block. Second shot opportunity. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a three-point play. J.R. Smith picks one up.
You know, when he's in that tight with that kind of height advantage over the defender, that's going to be a pretty easy play for him.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Cleveland. Jones comes in for J.R. Smith. And San Antonio also making a switch. Joseph, he's checked in for Parker. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. And Joseph kicks to Duncan. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down. I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw. The defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue to give up those easy points.
Tries again, and that's 2 points on the layup. Duncan's got 9 points in the quarter.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical. You got to make a defensive adjustment here because he's just destroying them from three-point range.
Well, even when they've closed out on him, Steve, he's knocking them down. Well, Tim Duncan, when asked about his retirement plans right after the 2013 finals, refused to dignify the question with the response. But last season's Spurs run answered loudly enough.
Now, here is Miller. He dishes it to Irving. Tries from 10, and he gets it to go. Irving's got 31.
You know, he's showing some kind of a killer instinct this quarter, trying to stretch this lead out.
Now, here's Joseph, averaging 10 points per contest. Miller against Green, 6 to shoot. Goes up the baseline, misses off the left eye. The Cavaliers leading by 20. Miller outside. Outside, Jones. Miller with the ball. Now Green defending. With the shot. Again, the Cavaliers score.
Solid work right there. And again, the field goal percentages. Look at the discrepancy between these two teams in the second half.
Well, you're right. We've got one team moving crisply to get good shots and the other team just a bit stagnant.
Here's Joseph. The Cavaliers making the shot. Green, the pass to Joseph. He kicks it to Diaw. The drive by Green. That's good. 18 points for Tim Duncan.
Well, and the bounce pass was the key to the play.
9 seconds left in the third. Here's Love. Here's Thompson. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Tim Duncan picks one up.
Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
Cleveland shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. That free throw good from Thompson. So it's both teams making substitutions here. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Here's Mills. No luck. And And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Well, tremendous point guard play, but that's nothing new coming from him. This is what you expect. The gorgeous feed there.
Here's Mills. On the floor for San Antonio, we've got Splitter. Mills out there with Tony Parker. Then it's Matt Bonner, and it's Day in at the 3 slot. Here is Bonner. Parker, right side, down to 5 on the shot clock. No luck. Some solid defense from Harris. Cleveland leading by 21. Fires, high post. Good, he hits the jump shot. Harris has got the first field goal of the 4th quarter here for Cleveland. The Spurs shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Now Mills. Parker, right side. Feeds to Mills. From downtown. Puts up the baby hook. San Antonio again missing. Cleveland's gotten all but one of the 3-pointers to go down in this game. They've gone 7 of 8 so far.
Now, toughness, such a key part of playing in the NBA. A lot of times people associate that word with physical toughness, but sometimes it's just mental toughness as well. Trying to play through injuries, just focusing through adversity, overcoming a shooting slump, being able to play under pressure. I mean, that's all part of being a tough player.
Second free throw, no good. We talk about toughness, physical toughness, mental toughness, really the cornerstone of being, Clark, respected in this league.
And I think sometimes guys get mixed up about toughness. It's making tough plays at tough times. It's not always necessarily how physical you can be. I like what Steve said, the ability to block out distraction and execute in the biggest moments, that's toughness.
That's good.
Size-wise, this is not a great one-on-one matchup for him, but he got that shot to go.
But you wouldn't know it by how he finished. That's a nice hoop there.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Cavaliers.
One of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
And I'll tell you, the other thing, guys, is the mid-range shot has been something that's really worked well for them tonight.
And that one's good.
A nice piece of work there. Find a little space and pull the trigger.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Well, he sees something that he doesn't like. I'm not sure what it is, but I think he's going to make some changes here.
I think you've got to make your adjustments pretty quickly like he's doing here. Otherwise, things can get out of hand. So this is a good timeout.
Doris Diaz checked in for Matt Bonner. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He told the team he wanted to run their offense through Parker. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. The next thing he talked about was the pace he'd like to see them playing at offensively. He wants it to be a fast-paced game, pushing tempo all the time. A few late-on-the-fly adjustments as this gets more desperate for them. It's going to be a tough hill to climb, guys.
Thanks, Doris. For the Cavaliers, Haywood comes in for Kevin Love. And it's James Jones in for Smith. The Spurs also changing it up. Baines is checked in, and it's Anderson in for Day. The Spurs have gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the 4th quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. Anderson kicks to Diaw from the arc. They get it back.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question. And that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
Offensive rebound. The second chance effort. Good on the shot.
That sort of epitomized this game, guys. One team going all out, getting rebounds and putbacks, and the other team just dragging.
And Mills kicks to Baines. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
And it's Dellavedova missing. The Spurs have gone just 2 of 8 in this 4th quarter. The final quarter not treating them well so far. Mills can't hit.
Got a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Mozgov dishes to Jones. Wing shot on the way. Second chance shot. Trying to get open is Hayward. Mozgov with the bucket.
No matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball in the paint.
That's been so critical, Clark, because whenever they have gotten the ball into the paint, it's resulted in points, it seems like.
Now here's Anderson. Mills passes to Diaw. Kicks to Mills. Spurs passing it around. The three from Anderson, and the basket good.
And that kind of defense is just not going to cut it, guys. I mean, they have to get a hand in his face.
The Cavaliers have gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Here's Dellavedova. He drains the quick shot. Dellavedova's got 4 points this quarter. San Antonio's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Here's Mills. Here's Diaw. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him.
Nice soft touch to drop that one in.
The Cavaliers have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Here's Dellavedova, and he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim.
Well, that puts the nail in the coffin.
A clinic in terms of how to play with the lead right there.
And Mills kicks to Joseph. Passes it to Mills. Dishes to Joseph. Fires the three. And again, it's San Antonio with a three.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just total obliteration. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Cavaliers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And making up for the loss in the first matchup between these two teams, they gave it all they had to even this 3-game season series at 1-1 against the Spurs.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Irving. Every time he shot it seemed like it was just going to drop in, and nobody was surprised.
And he gets the bucket. And San Antonio has possession. 44 seconds left in the game. And here's Mills. There's the dish to Baines. Shot clock at 6. Takes it from 10 and misses it off the right side of the rim. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. Love's checked in for Mozgov. And San Antonio with the change here too. Jeff Ayers is checked in for Boris Diaw. "17 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's Mills. Cavaliers with the rebound.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Love. And the Cavaliers get another bucket right there.
They certainly haven't let these fans down tonight. Been a fun night to be in the building.
It has been. I mean, the atmosphere has been great, and no doubt that helped with the winning effort.
So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games for a coach.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin.